Now today is a special day because I compare two phones that I think are really great. That is the A51 versus the Blade 10. Now this is ZTE's budget-friendly, very powerful, very good, very solid device. And this is one of Samsung's many budget devices. But right now, the A51 is the king of the hill for me when it comes to budget phones. It's low in price. It's got just a lot going for it. But how does it fare against the Blade 10 from ZTE? Because this is a very nice phone and it's got a lot going for it. So first thing I want to look at right here is the screen. The screen on both of these is really nice. The Samsung is Super AMOLED though, and this is IPS LCD, both coming in at 1080p. But telling the truth and being honest, they both look great. I have their respective wallpapers on there, but at the same time, I like the design, the newer design of the A51, and you get a bigger screen. These phones are almost the same size, or they're pretty much the same size. And then you have the 6.5 inch on the A51 versus the 6.3 on the Blade 10. I prefer this design better than this design. Obviously, this design of the screen, like with the cutout at the top versus the little hole center in the screen, this looks a heck of a lot better, and you get more real estate when you do it that way. And they both have a little lip at the bottom, but still, this 6.5 versus 6.3, you're getting more, and it's Super AMOLED. It gets a lot brighter as well, and that's just how it goes down for the screen. I like it better. Now, when it comes to the battery life on both of these, the A51 beats it out by just a little bit. This phone right here doesn't have a really high-powered processor, which is why it gets really good battery. But this has a bigger battery. This has 3,200 and this has 4,000. Now the trade-off though is this can do 15 watt fast charging and this can do 18 watt fast charging. So you have to decide, do you want a smaller battery that lasts almost as long and can charge faster, or a bigger battery that lasts longer and just charges a little bit slower? You decide on that. But battery life goes to the A51 because it edges it out by about an hour or so in difference for battery. And that's just from my personal use after using both of these phones for quite some time. Now, a lot of you guys talk about the speakers on these phones, and you always want to know about the A51 speaker. The A51 speaker, it has a single bottom firing speaker, and this has kind of like this really, not the strongest stereo setup, but it does have a stereo setup, so that's pretty cool. So the speaker volume goes definitely to the Blade 10 because it sounds a little bit louder and clear. I don't want to test the speakers in this video. I've tested them multiple times. Check out other videos. You'll notice that the A51 is not the best part of that phone, which is the down firing speaker, even though it's loud. It's definitely not as loud as stereo speakers. Now, looking at both of these on the body, you got a headphone jack up top, and you got a headphone jack on the bottom. You got Type-C on both of these, which is a pro. That's a positive. That's a good thing. You've got the position of the volume and power pretty much the same. When it comes to hardware, these are both glass front, plastic body, plastic frame. But this right here, because it's black, I guess, it looks really plastic. I have a skin on this one, but it's white, and it looks a lot more premium without the skin opposed to this black. So I think if they come with some different colors or whatever, because I really like the red power button. But just overall, this phone comes in 3 or 4 colors. And so the hardware on here, it's a nice narrow phone. It's 20 by 9. But this phone right here has a sloping design, so it kind of falls in your hand. And the A51 is just a nice, comfortable feel. So this one falls and slopes into your hand really comfortably. But this is a nice, narrow 20 by 9 aspect ratio phone. And it just, they're both tall though, tall and narrow. But the A51 feels a little bit better in hand, and the hardware I think is a little bit better because I got some better options. It just, they're the same materials, but it's just something about the A51 that just doesn't feel, not cheap, because they're both plastic, but this one feels a little bit more sturdy in the hand. I guess that's how I could say it. This one is really lightweight, which isn't a bad thing. I just prefer the A51 in hand feel, that's all. And when it comes to performance, this has 4 gigs, this has 3, and they're running completely different processors. So I'm going to try to give you some app openings real quick here. So it's not really that much of a difference, when you think about it. it's not that much of a difference. Uh, they don't open that much slower than this one doesn't open that much slower. So, you know, it's a matter of, it always stresses me out how the feeds load completely different things, man. Completely different. But, you know, and again, when you're scrolling through, oh, you know what? This isn't connected to Wi-Fi. That's what it is. I was like, what the heck? Where am I? There we go. Let's try this again. Get this thing on the internet. I'm probably going to start getting a lot of notifications. All right, so now give it a second. But performance though, the Blade 10 just feels faster because, you know, I don't know, this side to side, left to right deal right here on Samsung, the way their UI is, it doesn't feel as fluid and smooth. I can just go like this and get to what I need. With this phone, I have to go up, swipe left and right, get to my applications. But as far as performance, the Samsung seems to perform a little bit faster at times. And that's just because, well, it's got 4 gigs of RAM. Now, the only reason it looks like it's a little slower right there is because I just turned on Wi-Fi, so I'm getting all these notifications. But let's just open up Instagram. And you can see not much of a difference. So performance, this has Android 10, and in the latest UI from Samsung 2.0, this has Android 9, but it's stock. And so, you know, like I said, it feels really great when using it. Overall, though, they're both fast, and they're equally matched, if you ask me. It's no difference. So cameras, you know, we'll show you the cameras, and then we'll talk about overall final thoughts on both of these. Let's go. Okay, look, for the first part of this video, just know that beauty mode is not turned on the A51. One thing I've learned about the A51 opposed to the Blade 10, the tones are completely different. It's got that warmer tone, but you know, this is a matter of which type you like better, the cooler or the warmer. But I did some other testing, obviously, with both of these cameras, and through the viewfinder, they both look completely different. But what do you guys think about the front camera? Now, one thing I will say, the Blade 10 maxes out at 1080p on the front and the rear, and the A51 can do 4K on the front and the rear. But this is 1080p for this footage, so let me know what you think. All right, so here is the rear cameras. It's a nice gloomy day out. It's not too sunny, so you get a really good representation what they can do. That is the color of the grass right now. we're in February. Which one do you think is better? $180 or $300? Which one focuses faster? Let's get off of here and go back on the tree. Pay close attention. Look at that, boom. All right. Now the A51 has wide angle, so I turned it on just to show you just what it could actually do. Briefly, you can see it gets a lot more in view. All right, so there you saw the cameras, a little front video, a little rear video. Which one do you think focused better? Which one do you think looked better? Which one do you think appears to be, you know, your taste of a style of photo? Because one's warmer, one's cooler. But, you know, the Samsung tends to be a lot warmer, and the Blade 10 seems to be a lot cooler. But, you know, looking at them through the viewfinder, the Blade 10 always looked better. But then when you get it on the computer, you can kind of see, you know what I'm saying, what's really going down. So which one do you think is the overall right device for you? This only costs $180, and it's a powerhouse. For what it is a powerhouse. And I know I'm putting it up against a phone that's almost double the cost, but this shows how good a phone can be or how much a phone is not as good. So what do you think about the two devices, man? 180 versus 300. Which one would you take? It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.